In the vast estates of the valley of Elah, where the sun blazed high and the air crackled with tension, two armies stood poised on the brink of battle. On one side, the Israelites, their faces a mix of fear and determination, their hearts heavy with doubt. On the other, the Philistines, led by their towering champion, Goliath, who stood like a mountain among mere mortals. His voice boomed across the valley, mocking the Israelites, daring them to send forth a warrior brave enough to face him. "Why do you even bother preparing for battle?" he sneered. "Send out your greatest warrior to fight me. If he defeats me, we will be your slaves. But if I win, you will serve us." The soldiers of Israel shivered at his words, glancing nervously at one another, their courage waning. King Saul, their leader, whispered to his advisor, "No one in our camp is strong enough to face him. He's a giant, unstoppable." Fear hung thick in the air, a palpable fog that stifled any glimmer of hope. But far away in Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tended to his flock, blissfully unaware of the impending doom looming over his people. With bright eyes and a heart full of song, he sang to his sheep, his voice light and hopeful. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." His father, Jesse, approached him with concern etched on his face. "David, take this food to your brothers at the battlefield. See how they are doing and bring back word of their safety." Eager to help, David gathered bread and cheese, setting off toward the Israelite camp, excitement bubbling within him. Upon arrival, he weaved through the anxious soldiers, finally locating his brothers. As they spoke, Goliath's thunderous voice echoed through the valley once more, issuing his challenge. "Is there no one among you brave enough to face me? Cowards! I will crush any man who dares step forward." David, confused and indignant, turned to his brothers. "Who is this man that dares to insult the armies of the living God? Why does no one fight him?" Eliab, his eldest brother, shot him an angry glare. "David, you're just a boy. This is not your concern. Goliath is a giant. No one can beat him." But David's heart swelled with determination. "Why should we be afraid? The Lord who saved me from the paw of the lion and the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." His words sparked a flicker of hope, and soon David found himself standing before King Saul, who looked down at him with skepticism. "You are but a boy, David. Goliath has been a warrior since his youth. How can you, a shepherd, fight a giant?" David's confidence radiated from him. "I have fought lions and bears to protect my father's sheep. The Lord delivered me from their claws, and he will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. It is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, but by his power." Saul hesitated, then nodded, handing David his armor. But when David tried it on, it was too heavy, clanking awkwardly as he moved. "I cannot fight in these. They are too heavy. I will face Goliath with what I know." With that, David chose 5 smooth stones from a nearby brook, clutching his sling tightly as he approached the battlefield. Goliath stood waiting, his sneers echoing through the valley. "Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks? Come here, boy, and I will feed your flesh to the birds and wild animals." David stood firm, unwavering. "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. This day he will deliver you into my hands, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." With a swift motion, David loaded a stone into his sling and released it. Time seemed to freeze as the stone flew through the air, striking Goliath squarely on the forehead. The giant stumbled, eyes wide in disbelief, before crashing to the ground. Silence enveloped the battlefield, and then, like a dam bursting, the Israelites erupted in cheers, their fear transformed into triumph. David stood over Goliath, his heart pounding with exhilaration. "The Lord has delivered you into my hands." The Philistine army, stunned and terrified, turned to flee, and the Israelites charged forward, emboldened by their newfound courage. Back at the camp, David was hailed as a hero. His brothers, once doubtful, now embraced him, their eyes shining with pride. "I underestimated you, little brother." Today, you have shown all of us the true power of faith and courage, Eliab said, his voice thick with emotion. King Saul smiled, recognizing the truth in David's words. You, David, have proven that the greatest strength comes not from size or armor, but from trust in God. And as the sun began to set over the valley, casting a warm glow upon the land, David walked alone in quiet reflection. He picked up his sling, tossing a stone into the air and catching it with a smile. His journey had just begun, but he knew this moment would echo through time, a reminder that even the smallest among us can change the course of history through faith, courage, and trust in something greater. Thank you, Lord, for being my strength, he whispered, the serene beauty of the valley surrounding him, a testament to the power of belief. And in that moment, as the stars began to twinkle overhead, David understood that giants may come, but with faith, they can always be defeated.